You do.
Yeah, well, I have 3 kids, so I have to make sure that they're well taken care of, and it's an issue. You know, when you have 3 kids and you have responsibilities, where they're going to go, how they're going to go about handling, and also the story that it's crazy. This is soap opera stuff.
Yes, it is.
This is sorry.
It makes you go, wow.
Here's what happened. This California guy, he had a heart arrhythmia. They put him in a coma, and he went into a coma, and he was out for 4 days. The guy was in a coma. Okay, they had just about to take him off life support when his stepson noticed a tear going down the side of his eye. He's like, "Hey, look, doctor, check it out." He miraculously comes out of this coma, and not only that, usually they say that when you're out of oxygen for a period of time, you're going to have some kind of major problems. The doctor says he's going to get a full recovery out of all of this.
It's a miracle.
It really is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But, I mean, his family being that close to cutting off life support, and then all of a sudden he awakes. I mean, his stepson was saying, oh my gosh, he's responding.
Yeah.
And can you imagine how blessed they feel that they did not take him off life support because, you know, like you said, expected to make a full recovery.
2 days isn't very long, though. If you think about it, we had that situation down here in Florida a couple of years ago, and the Congress got involved. And she was on for years. It was
Terry
a really big deal. Terry Schiavo, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's a question. How long do you wait?
Well, and look, I think this is probably one of those situations that happens 1 in a gazillion times. I mean, this is truly a miracle, and I think it creates that conversation. At least if this story can do anything, maybe it will create that conversation for families to have with one another. And, you know, I do hope it doesn't send other families false hope, because this doesn't normally happen.
It doesn't.
This way.
I've had a lot of people that I've known that have died, and I subscribe to the theory that, you know, when it's your time, no matter what. I mean, you know, if I didn't die in a coma, I'd get up and a car would hit me, that sort of thing. So I go along with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I mean, if it's your time, you're going to die no matter what. I actually came pretty close to this at one time. I don't know, Chris, you might not know this, Holly, as well, but this is why Andrea and I are so close here. It happened to me. I was at work, actually, for some reason. We actually caught it all on tape. And the doctor was trying to resize me. He actually pronounced me dead, and I was no longer there. And Andrea just happened to be stopping by, and through the power of love and breath mints, she was able to bring me back to life. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. And the little angel, the doctor was rooting for her. She was breathing on that. I was trying to know
thank you.
And when I came to 2, I saw an angel, and I was fine. And there is the Daily Bot. That's why.
Was it Mentos or Altoids? Which one was it? You're going to be a sponsor.
That's why it's so curiously strong. It's very curiously strong, and that is why. It's a lifesaver.
What do you guys think of the caller ID? Does it bug you? Do you care? It's been around since the 90s.
Don't mind it at all.
You don't mind it at all? Okay, there's a company that's going to accommodate AT&T and T-Mobile users with something called Track Call, which will unblock the blocked numbers. So a lot of folks involved with the domestic abuse victims are saying, hey, this could be potentially dangerous, because it will allow their abusers to find out who's calling and where they're located, because it could also bring up their location as well.
Valid point. I mean, that could be very dangerous for a lot of people out there.
But why would the people who are, that's basically women who've been abused, why would they be calling their abuser?
Because there might be some custody issues. If kids are involved, they might have to, you know, schedule times for.
But wouldn't it work better if they used email in this case? I mean, we've got so many other means of communicating. It would seem safer on the abused if she knew who was calling her.
And that's what the creator of this program says. We're trying to help and not hurt people. But if that's not enough, there's a free version of this. But you can actually add a couple extra versions for additional money. One of the options, blacklisting. You can stop a phone call from coming into your phone, and I like that.
I like that a
option
lot.
Because if you got somebody who's harassing you, or a phone call you don't want to get, you can blacklist their number.
You know, and I go, you know, if it's block call, I just don't answer it. Let my voicemail take it. You know, it's like, listen, if you're not going to tell me who you are, I'm not going to answer, because you're probably wanting money from me.
Yeah. And a lot of times with landlines, I know that my aunt has this. If you call her phone and you have a blocked number, it just says this line does not accept block calls, so then you have to call back and unblock your number so they will answer. They'll be aware of who.
There's also, you can type in a code and you have to say your name. I know there's some services like that.
Also on this one, they've got another program with this that you have to pay for, that you can record phone call conversations on your phone, or you can have them texted to your email account verbatim, a transcript of your phone conversation. Do you really?
I have it where you can record it, yeah. It's my New York number. No, I never really recorded, but it's just a matter of while we're talking, you just press a button on it and it'll record the conversation and email it to me.
I don't know how I'd feel about
Well,
that.
it's
I don't
supposed to,
know it's
by
being
law, it has
recorded.
to make some kind of noise to let you know that you're being recorded.
Okay, well, let us know what you think. Would you subscribe to this service, and would you mind if your phone call was recorded? DailyBuzzNow.com. Also, Chris Markowski, our watchdog on Wall Street, will be in the chat room this morning. If you've got some financial questions or concerns about this new mortgage bill, we'd love to hear from you, and Chris can answer those questions
Or
for
some
you.
style questions, because Chris is the most stylish man. I would look at the
Very
shirt.
slick
What an awesome,
suit.
nice triple.
Thank you.
Count.
My wife dresses me well.
All right, well, there you go.
It's like we're animals. I got to match the elephant.
All right, so there was a cartoon that was run in yesterday's New York Post causing a lot of controversy because for a lot of people it seems to compare President Barack Obama with a chimpanzee that's being shot dead by 2 police officers, with one of the officers in the cartoon saying to the other, now who's going to write the new stimulus bill?
Right.
Okay, so what do you guys think?
I thought it was dripping with racism. I mean, it's unfortunate that, someone thinks, okay, it's okay to, link, and that's us looking at it. The cartoon is saying this had nothing to do with the president. I think given the history of it, given the history of African Americans being called monkeys and gorillas and whatnot, you just don't.
Sure.
You don't do that.
And
I think it was in
where
poor
was
taste.
the editor?
I think it was in poor taste.
Yeah.
I think it was too, but I also think it's an absolutely wonderful thing because you know who the idiots are. That's a great thing about free speech. When people open up their mouths, you know who the idiots are. Rather than let them, if you keep everybody quiet, they keep it inside them, then you don't know. Let people talk, let people say what they want, because then you know what? Then you know where the jerks are.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are talking about this. We actually have a lot of viewer comments.
All morning long, people have been emailing us this morning. Cheryl from Hampton, Virginia says, there are so many things that we as black people have experienced that whites know nothing about. That which you have not experienced, you do not know. David from Wisconsin says, I get the cartoonist joke. If you give 1 million monkeys 1 million typewriters, what you get is the stimulus bill.
Okay.
So email us your thoughts.
And I've been in and out of the chat room all morning. A lot of people riled up about this. Orville says, personally, I feel it was poor judgment and the New York Post shouldn't be allowed to hide behind the First Amendment when publishing trash like this. Og says, if the New York Post stands behind the comic without a retraction, they've lost a subscriber here. Anita says, he might have been referring to the chimp story, but the cartoonist was being racist and it was a poor judgment on the paper to run it. So a lot of people not happy. They want a retraction and an apology from the New York Post. And as of yet, New York Post is standing by this, not apologizing at all.
Did you even get how they connected the two?
Well, no, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, obviously, I guess because it's both timely and that matter, and they had to go out there. But the gorilla was, I mean, this is Black History Month. Seems like that would be on your mind, number one. That maybe somebody might find this offensive. We don't know, And I honestly, I don't think he goes, haha, I'm going to make everybody think. I don't think he thought that. I don't think he thought it all out all the way. It could be offensive, and when you put it out there, you have to look at the whole scope. Listen, I've said many things on this show that I had no intention anywhere near it, and people thought I was being racist or they misunderstood what I was trying to say. I'm not defending this guy. I think that he just didn't think it out the entire way. Listen, newspapers are about to die. Everybody's going on the internet now,
Good point.
and this is a great way to sell newspapers. Generate some buzz. Exactly.
One more thing, and then we have to send it over to Andrea really quickly. One of our producers was saying, well, isn't this a threat on the president by saying, oh, we need to, gun down, or, by tying Obama being the monkey, by saying, oh, now we need to kill the monkey
But it can't, because his intent says that the monkey was in the cartoon. That's what he's going to say. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't agree with it, but yeah.
Let us know what you think, please. DailyBuzzNow.com.
over to